Honorable members of the Board of Trustees, thank you so much for welcoming me here today. My name is Max Grossman. I'm a resident and taxpayer of El Paso County. I'm very interested in the fiscal health of our taxpaying entities. I became interested in SISD from a number of media reports. We've learned a lot in the last several months. We learned that in 2019, actually going back several years, that at least 276 seniors graduated who were not qualified to graduate. We learned that between 2016 and 2022, SISD paid 246 employees stipends worth $283,000 without your authorization. We learned that SID altered the scoring systems for soliciting bids for certain contracts to favor certain vendors. And we're learning about conflicts of interest, especially given one of your audits from Weaver audits, 3 of them, right? 1 in December, 2 in March. We learned that this fiscal year, you're short $33.2 million. That next fiscal year, you're projecting a deficit of $41 million. That's $74.2 million. And we learned from the December Weaver audit about $26.3 million in cost overruns on your 2017 $448.5 million bond. You do the math, that's $100.5 million in the red between the 2 fiscal years and your shortfall on your bond. But what I'm most disturbed about, and that most people don't know about, are $132.9 million in 183 transactions, contract extensions, signed off on by 28 staffers without the authorization of this board. I've never heard of anything like that in my 15 years in El Paso. Your board policy manual says any single budgeted purchase of goods and services that costs $100,000 or more, regardless of whether the goods or services are competitively purchased, shall require board approval before a transaction may take place. That's written into your own handbook. I'm learning about reimbursements for driving costs where SISD employees failed to report their mileage. And now we have a TEA takeover. I really wish this district all the best because it really is for the good of our communities and the kids. And I hope that Mr. Hinojosa and Mr. Kim do a fabulous job of setting the fiscal house in order. But I just want to conclude with what happened to 2 of your trustees, Mr. Barrera and Mr. Castellano, who I know to be honorable men. Mr. Barrera, 8 years in the Marines, wounded twice in combat, 8 years on the Border Patrol. Mr. Castellano, 29 years in the police force, both of them with flawless records, both of them with no criminal record. These are the 2 guys I'm reading about who are constantly asking the questions, insisting on oversight, contacting the authorities with their concerns, and they're the ones paying the price. And there are unknown actors within this district who are engaged in machinations to prevent the release of this information to the public. I'm convinced of it. That said, I really do wish you all the best, Godspeed in setting your fiscal house in order, because ultimately it is for the students. Thank you.